I'm telling you, I will go outside, dig a hole, and eat whatever I dig up. Like, there is no chance it's Joe Gacy.
Oh,
is fine, and Dan's is reversed.
Son of a bitch.
Why is Ziggy's fine?
Son of
we were. Mine. That was like 2 seconds. That's not bad.
Makes
All
no
right.
sense.
So we're live.
We are.
What's up, everybody? Ziggy, Brian, and Dan. So we have a few topics right now that we're gonna go over for our second show. Woot woot number 2. Woo! We have a few things that we would like, but first we're gonna start to get into it by saying what our gripe is of the week. I guess we could start with Dan.
All right. Well, I've complained about this, I think, like 2 or 3 times over the last 4 or 5 days. She-Hulk. My hot take of the week is She-Hulk. The show started strong. It was great. Had a lot going on. And I think the last 2 hours of runtime, I would have fell asleep if I was in a movie theater. Just bored. Just bored. And the last 2 episodes, they need to be They need to be Sheamus level bangers, in my opinion, to save this show. That's my hot take.
I don't think you're gonna get that,
No,
but
I'm not.
I see where you're going, and I accept the point. Brian, go to you.
Well, we had a Discord discussion. We found out about this earlier today. You know, anybody that plays Magic that's watching probably heard about the $1,000 30th anniversary packs that they're putting out. That's ridiculous. No one should ever buy that. They're cards that you can't even play.
Yeah, when it said not tournament legal on it, I was like, come on. Like my initial argument right off the bat to everybody was like, they're gonna be able to be played in it. Why would you spend $1,000 to get 4 packs if you can't even play these in an actual tournament?
Everyone,
it says not tournament legal in like the first sentence under all of the pictures.
Yeah, mega
ridiculous.
shout out to Ziggy for actually reading. I was actually very impressed.
You know, we have to pull rabbits out of our hat every once in a while.
everyone on Twitter said you can buy a printer, ink, and cardstock for less money than it is to buy the packs.
Yeah, absolutely. You can literally buy a $500 printer. It's still
The
be
thing
cheaper.
is, though,
They put Amazon links to where you can buy everything instead of that. Only one person on Twitter has gone with Wizards on this.
Mind blowing. The dude makes like $400,000 a year and has nothing better to spend his money on.
no kids, no
and
pets.
No, it's Brian Kibler is the only person who's been agreeing with this.
Of course,
everyone.
He has to. All right, like it's
No, he doesn't. He's a Hearthstone player.
It doesn't matter.
Every other Magic Pro has been against
What do you know him? What do you know him from? You know him as
I don't know
Kibler
shit
from
about
Magic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We don't know. We don't know him as
I
Hearthstone.
know he's some Hearthstone dude. That's great. At some point in time, Wizards of the Coast paid him money, guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I guess we can move on to me. My gripe of the week is wrestling centric. I'm starting to slowly get annoyed with the White Rabbit. Slowly. I am actually going to Extreme Rules, so I'm hoping that I see something. Me and the wife unit had a little bit of a debate. Yeah, a little bit of a debate this week, and we were trying to figure out if it's going to be an actual showing of who we think it is versus if it's going to be like a video. Which she's leaning toward video, I'm leaning towards just popping up. And not for very long, because even if you look at the card right now, I don't really know where he fits in. Where he might be coming in. I have an idea, and I honestly think it's the Bailey and Bianca match. Personally, I think, but I don't know. I think that I hope we get revealed because honestly, I don't think I can do another 2 weeks or another month of this of trying to figure out all these things. Like, I mean, I downloaded a damn like Morse code decoder on my phone to try to figure out what was going on. Like, I went in deep. I mean, I was just whew. Either way, that is that's my gripe of the week.
Getting too cryptic for you?
No, it's not getting cryptic at all, because the fact is, between the internet / Twitterverse, you could figure this out within minutes. Like, it's like everybody's working to a collective try to figure out what's going on. They're trying to I feel like they're trying to throw you off the trail with saying Joe Gacy, stuff like that.
No, there's literal. You can make me literally name anything, and I will do it if it's Joe Gacy. I'm telling you right now, there's no way on the planet that it's Joe Gacy. No chance.
Just so you know, that's recorded now.
That's fine. It's live. I'm telling you, I will go outside, dig a hole, and eat whatever I dig up. Like, there is no chance it's Joe Gacy.
As a witness, Brian.
But yeah,
so,
I mean, if someone pays me $1,000 pack, I'll stay quiet.
It's actually, excuse me, sir. It is $250 a pack. You just have to buy 4 of them.
Yeah, no chance. It's really weird. I'm gonna be honest. I think, oh, man, it's tough because here's where I'm at. Right with the take is I totally agree. I think it's run its course into the appeal of it for me. However, literally every single episode, along with SmackDown or Raw trending on Twitter, White Rabbit is trending. Which means they have, like, 2 things in the top, like, 10, 15 category of trending on Twitter, which is just not easy to do. And this is, like...
selling out stadiums and everything like that. It's huge.
It's just...
huge grab.
It's one of those where it's, like... I think he needs to appear because I think he needs to be a part of Survivor Series and at least start establishing his character quicker than some, whatever these will continue to be. But I can also see the draw of it. Like, honestly, here's the real truth. Is like, when's the last time you felt like you had to watch Monday Night Raw live or you were going to, like, miss out on something? This is really drawing people. Like, people are really attached to this. Like, they're all about finding this QR code, pausing their television, rewinding, like, following the path. Like, it's incredibly engaging, which...
Following random signs in the crowd that you don't know if they're signs or people, like, with hints.
I just don't remember the last time we got anything anywhere close to the scale of this, and I think that's why, like, it might not end. Like, that's the honest truth here, is, like... I could just see it being another video. I could just see it. I can see you guys starting the night with, hearing the White Rabbit lyrics, etc., etc. But at the same time, I personally think because there's no championship title on the line, Roman's not wrestling, the main event is very, very up in the air to me. I would be willing to bet it's the fight. It's the fight pit because, like, the fight pit doesn't have a ring attached to it in, like, a way, so, like, I think they're gonna have to take down the ring after the last match. Because it's way easier to take down the ring than it is to set it up. So I think that'll end up being the main event, in my opinion, is that they'll take the ring down after the second to last match, throw up some video packages. He might even premiere then, honestly, like, just to kind of fill that time gap while they're doing things. But I don't know. It's really interesting because I'm very engaged. For me, it's all or bust. It's literally Bray Wyatt or complete bust. I can't fathom it being any other person at this point and me get excited about it. And in being in Philadelphia, if they don't do the right thing, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, I mean, we booed The Rock.
Yeah, I tweeted out now. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of followers and don't really have anything.
Wait, what? Ziggy.
Is it tweeted?
No, it's tweeted. Stop it.
Okay. I twittered. No, I actually used Twitter for, like, the first time in, God, I don't even know how long. And I literally just said that, like, man, Philadelphia is not the city to play with emotions. Like, you either kind of give us Bray or just don't do it at all. Because it's, in fairness, I feel like we're, like, an all or nothing town. Regardless, people who threw batteries at Santa, I, I mean, it's a thing. You have
we
to.
are a very passionate people.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100%. I feel like we are extremely passionate when it comes to things that we like, and when it comes to wrestling fans. I feel like they're the most passionate people. You go there, you know what you're going to. With all this being said, if Bray Wyatt does come out, like I didn't even watch it when Bray was there, like the first time. I had to go back and watch it, and he was entertaining to me. But like now, I just want to see that. I want to experience with the same thing that you and Brian experienced, like Dan and Brian experienced during this entire thing. That's what I want to experience because it felt like that out of the portion of wrestling that I missed throughout the years when I just didn't watch it, it felt like I missed the most when Bray was involved. And that's just my personal opinion. Just because I like the way his stuff is, I do that. I mean, like John Cena, I watched it here and there. Like I wasn't like into it where I would know every wrestler, but I knew about John Cena, well before.
I mean, Brian can attest to this. Bray Wyatt was probably my favorite wrestler for like a couple years. Like he really did have Undertaker level qualities to him. At the end of the day, he should have beat the streak, in my opinion. Absolutely should have. But it's one of those weird things. And honestly, I don't know if you guys listened to it recently. I think it was, I don't want to misquote, but Seth Rollins was just recently on a podcast. I can't remember the exact podcast, but he was talking, and they were talking about the Fiend feud that he had with him, and he said that it was incredibly difficult to work with the character of the Fiend. Not Wyatt, not Wyndham, there's none of that bullshit. But the idea that like this captivating character was very difficult to work with for either both characters to come out on top, or even just one of them can come out on top, because the Fiend itself was so unbelievably over. And their feud is remembered for all the wrong reasons, unfortunately. But the concept of the Fiend was difficult to work with is, when you really think, it's very true. And I'm not saying the Fiend was bad because he was great, but honestly, I much more remember the Bray Wyatt, doing his Mr. Rogers impressions, and then the feud with The Miz. Like, I remember those feuds more than, honestly, any of the Fiend feuds. Like, other than the atrocious Goldberg loss, which it was just bad. But, so I don't know. Like, he's very captivating. Like, he literally carried an entire feud with The Undertaker on television for, like, 2 months without even knowing The Undertaker was even going to show up. Like, that's how good he is. He literally carried an entire feud into WrestleMania without even an appearance from The Undertaker. Like, he's one of the best, for sure.
50. All right, cool. Well, before we get way too carried away, I'm going to pull this back in, and I'm going to get us down to a reasonably sized podcast that everybody can feel comfortable with, a digestible version, if you will. All right, so during show 2, we kind of bounced a few ideas off each other. We came up with a few that we all liked. So I'm going to start with Brian with this one. And this is, what show recently did you not have high hopes for, but turned out to be surprisingly good?
Miss Marvel. I had zero hopes for that show, and I was very pleasantly surprised with it.
Okay. What did you like about it?
I just didn't think that they were going to be able to pull a good story with it, with the way that the entire premise was completely different from the comics. Like, without them bringing mutants or like Terrigen Mist or any of that stuff into it, with them just being like, oh no, it was just alien tech. I'm just like, okay, I just didn't think I was going to get behind it. But then like the whole like family aspect of the show and like introducing more cultured stuff, I kind of got into it.
I can agree with that. I liked it for that. The teenaged people who were doing that, I thought acted really well. It wasn't really too like I guess cringy, if you want to say that. I'll bunny ears that, but like typically sometimes it's like really difficult to kind of connect with a character considering the age, because you as an adult, you're like, but I've really done that. And then the real answer is, if I would have hopped out the second floor window I'd have probably A, broke my legs, and then B, when my legs are broken, my dad would have whooped my ass for jumping out the second story window. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
If you
So
don't die, I'm gonna kill you.
pretty much. How dare you throw the trash out? It was me. I jumped. No, so, anyway, so Dan, what about you?
I'm very fearful that I'm gonna steal your answer.
Oh, go ahead. I'll use one of the backups.
So I'm gonna go with Moon Knight.
All right, I'm done. See you later, boys.
No, I mean honestly, like for me, Moon Knight is a character I knew almost nothing about. I did very little research going into the show. I think it's one of the last shows that Kylie and I actually watched together, which is few and far between now these days. I'm sure she's ready to give me some evil look or something.
I'm ready to see a stuffed animal just fly across the screen and hit you in the face.
I hope there's no stuffed animals coming my way. But yeah, the Moon Knight was just great. It really embodied things that I like from other shows that when you do them correctly, they're really fun and they're really entertaining. You know, the idea that he's just going through these different characters as part of the character. Like, I mean, in the show, like, I don't even know, like, there's 4 versions of him realistically. So it's just like, it's really cool to go through that. I thought the side cast was all great. I'm a huge fan of all the Egyptian stuff and all that stuff. So I saw it, you know, seeing another afterlife, you know, was really cool. I thought the villain was phenomenal. I just felt like the show did a whole lot. And honestly, like going in, I'm just like, well, it's a Marvel show, so like I'm gonna check it out. But I had almost zero hope for it. And
I'm actually kind of surprised that you enjoyed it that much because he's basically Batman.
Right, but he's not. But he's not at all.
He is, but he isn't. I mean, like, I stopped trying to argue with him when he was just like, no, he's not, and I'm like, all right,
Moon Knight,
but he's like the equivalent to.
Okay,
it is the closest to the equivalent
Moon
of Batman
Knight
in the Marvel universe.
Is equivalent to a Batman-esque character. However, in no way, shape, or form, or any of his personalities, Bruce Wayne.
Oh,
So-
no. This is Batman who accepts that he has multiple personality disorder instead of trying to separate himself from Batman.
Yeah, and he's not an asshole. Well, only one of them are an asshole, so it's like he's like 1/3 asshole, you know. So unlike Bruce Wayne, who's just an asshole. So yeah,
I mean, that's what happens when you have a lot of money. You're allowed to be an asshole.
that's fair. What about you, Ziggers?
Yeah, what about you, Zig?
All right, so in all honesty, I could have went with a few. Moon Knight being one of them, Miss Marvel being another one, but considering that you guys decided to take Marvel, I'll take another route. I'll go to HBO, and I will actually go to DC here, and I'm gonna hit you with Peacemaker.
Oh,
Because-
good choice.
Because I wasn't expecting much from it. I knew what he was like in Suicide Squad because I watched the movie, but I gotta say that I enjoyed that way too much. And I don't know very many storylines of Peacemaker. I didn't do any research.
I don't know any.
I didn't. I knew there was like certain things with the bugs that was like something. I was like Monarch, I think. And then like I'm like wait a second, is that Venture Brothers? I was like, I think that's Venture Brothers. I was like I don't know who these people are. And I was like, we'll just watch it. So I watched it. I enjoyed it. Very gory, very awesome, very gritty, and it was just something that you can enjoy on like definitely not for kids, for adults, 100%. But it was great. It was just like, man. Like, he is like a stone cold idiot, and he's just really good at doing it. He has a crazy sidekick that was entertaining. It just, overall, the show is aces for me. I thought it was really good.
Oh man, I'm gonna be on. I'm so upset that I didn't think of that. That's a phenomenal answer because, man, I mean, for me, DC has been dead for years. Like I just like all of the movies are just they're so mediocre to me. I haven't really paid attention to anything past that, but I remember when Peacemaker came out. I'm a huge John Cena fan, obviously coming from a wrestling background. But even like John Cena as an actor, like I just think he's honestly good enough in a lot of roles that he's probably underrated in them. I can't think of too many roles that he's been in part of movies that I liked that he was bad in them. So when it got announced, I was like, oh, Peacemaker, that's interesting. And I remember me and Kylie watching it, and I think both of us were just like, wow, like that was not at all what I was expecting. And it was just like just the opening intro. Like,
Yeah, the hilarity of everything. I think
it's just
is
so good.
really
Like,
something that
and like
tied the show in.
his like it's an incredibly vulgar show, but it's like it's just John Cena, so it makes it even funnier to me that this superhero-esque character that was literally granted the most wishes in the history. He's literally in the Guinness Book of World Records now for wishes granted for kids, and it's like that dude is incredibly vulgar in this show, and it only adds to the hystericalness of it. It's great.
I agree.
Yeah, I completely forgot that show even came out this year.
Well, it was I don't. Was it this year?
I mean,
this year? I think
it's
it might have been
recent
end of
enough.
last year. It was definitely end of last year's. Definitely.
I think it played
believe
into January. I think
within. I want to say it's within the year.
It's within a year for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll say it that way. All right. So we kind of went into that. So now we're gonna hop to a different subject, which is back to the first subject that we kind of all talked about and commiserated with. But what's your favorite?
Oh no, it released on
storyline?
January 13th actually.
Oh,
So,
did it?
it was
Yeah, I was about to Google it, but considering
I got you, bro.
the thank you. Kibler Googled it. See, look at that. See what I did there, Brian? So all right, we have what is your favorite wrestling or what's your favorite storyline in wrestling at the moment? You could either do. I'll give you this. You could do either AEW, which I really don't know a whole lot about, but you could do whatever you want, or WWE or NXT for that matter. If that's what you like.
NXT is WWE.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like it has its own separate storylines. That's sort of.
Well, I tell you
intertwined
what,
with WWE main roster.
You go
so.
first this time.
Okay.
So what about you?
Well, I know I'm going to take your one.
No, you're not.
With this one. Okay.
Well, you might be taking my one because I said it last week.
I'm taking. Well, then I'm taking Brian's. It's because it's just honestly far and away
It's so
the
good.
most entertaining for me. Now I'm actually going to go with the one that me and Kel find hilarious. Okay, because I like a lot of storylines that are going on, but I'm going to go with this one because I think that overall, the fact that this person doesn't talk, and the storyline.
You're taking this one, okay?
Yeah, I'm taking this one. Yeah,
This week's part was so good.
yeah. The fact that this person doesn't talk, and the hilarity of every single segment that he's in because of either being the sheer creepiness or just anything. I gotta go with the Dexter Lumis Miz thing because it is just too funny. This dude, like, I'm like, oh my god, Kel. I was like, this dude's in the fucking goalie uniform. And sure enough, he is. He beats crap out of it. The best part for me is after he beats up the Miz or does whatever he is, he just sits there and strokes his hair. He's just like that for me is the killer. That's just like icing on the cake. Far and away the best thing for me to watch.
You missed out on some good NXT stuff, man.
Yeah.
I
did.
He's only ever said 2 words his entire career so far, and it was
Like-
"I do" when he got married.
No, seriously, think about this. Like, hold on. That guy hosted a Halloween Havoc. Think about that.
No talking, just drawing.
Yes, literally.
Oh
he
my
had
God.
like a little setup that was like a tablet connected to the jumbotron, and he would draw, and it would show what he was drawing on the. I'm telling you, he is. It actually reminds me of a couple years ago. I think it was Shawn Michaels on a podcast. I can't remember the exact podcast. Oh, well, thank you for the raid. Our boy Vin just raided us with his channel. Thanks a lot, guys, for showing up.
Cheers.
So yeah, I think if you really think about it, but like it was Michaels that were they were talking about all these up and coming stars, and of course there was Adam Cole and everything that he was doing, and Johnny, and what's up, guys? Thanks for joining chat tonight. And there was all these like cool things were going on, but he like out of nowhere just named Dexter Lumis, and this was like 2-3 years ago, right? And it was true. Like it was just so out there. Like it was so random, and it was like this up and coming character, and I was like pretty legitimately upset when they let him go. Like this, it's just like was it earlier this year or earlier last year? I can't remember exactly when it was.
I think it was early last year.
But yeah, it was rough because I was like, man, that sucks, because I think there was a lot more to do with him. So when they brought him back out of nowhere, and this whole storyline, even this week, I mean, when he puts him to sleep on like a random box. Just like you got Gargano, which the connection with Gargano and Loomis is there, which is even funnier. And he's just like, oh, Dexter. Like, it's really good. It's been funny. I've enjoyed it.
So actually, I'll exit my comment or my portion of this with me and Kel. Like I decided, I was just like, Kel, you want to go back to when NXT first started, meaning after me and you talked it. We're gonna go start watching them again, just to kind of catch ourselves up. This way we can get interested in it too.
I wonder if I could find like a specific date that would be worth doing. Honestly, like I could probably figure that out.
I'm just gonna do NXT 2.0, the start of that.
Okay.
And then
I mean, that's not nearly the same thing, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, so I'll go NXT 2.0 because you basically told me that was kind of like the hard reset.
Yeah, like they had a hard reset a year ago, and then they just did another one. So
yeah. So I mean, we figure we can get through those through the course of the week, family time, whatever else, because Addie loves it. So even if she's sitting there on the iPad, AJ enjoys it to a certain extent. So I don't care. I'm just gonna have a good time and watch it and just catch up on things.
I won't lie. NXT 2.0 is nowhere close to what Black and Gold was. Like there's definitely points where you can be like, I'll be honest with you, but there are some really good characters through the year for sure.
They have I don't care. I can't wait till I get to this episode tonight, the one that just happened.
And Nikita was like a little while in. I don't remember her starting right away, but I could be wrong. I forget.
Much thickness. Oh.
Anywho, Brian
and Gigi. Oh god.
No, dude. All right. Anyway, Brian.
All right. So we're just gonna piggyback from what I said last week, with the best storyline being Sami Zayn.
So I'm gonna cut you off real quick, right? I'm really upset. All right. They did that promo right. That was the Friday after we did that class. They revealed the honorary Uce shirt.
Yup.
Literally, the promo ended. I went to WWE.com and I ordered my shirt. And this is why I'm pissed, because I'm not wearing it right now, because I haven't got it yet. What I'm more pissed about is that Z is going to be able to go to Extreme Rules this weekend and buy that shirt and have it before I will. I'm pissed, all right? Continue with your story, Brian. I'm just mad I didn't get my shirt.
So it had nothing to do with the story. The fact that they're even putting like so much effort into this, Jey Uso knows Sami Zayn is a dirty snake and is waiting for him to strike, and all the other bloodline are like, nah, he's cool. Yep. Roman's like, he cool.
The thing that killed me,
Jimmy's like, he cool. Paul he cool.
Right after they did everything in the ring, when he's like, Jay ripped his shirt off and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they gave him the honorary shirt. He immediately went to Jimmy and he did like the handshake. That killed me because he's
that is the second time he did that handshake.
I was just
he's done that a bunch of times actually.
I was like, but that's too good that they nailed it. Like I personally love watching the interaction with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, because I know that Jay is sitting there in the back, like gritting his
smoldering,
teeth, trying not to laugh.
Yes.
And it's so good because, like, dude, when he walks out with Solo, like Solo's music is just like, it's like okay, whatever. And then like Sami Zayn's just coming out like all like
doing the normal Sami Zayn thing, yeah.
Just like, what the hell? I'm waiting for him to get his own image when the Usos come out. And he's
you mean with Sami Zayn going like this?
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's spectacular. It's crazy to me. I'm gonna be honest. Unlike most storylines, I don't know that I want this one to end like anytime soon. Like honestly, there was a part of me where I'm like, oh, this will probably end, like end of the year. I think this needs to go like to Mania. I really do. I think it's that good. Like it's crazy.
I can agree with that. I mean, I don't know. If maybe not that long. I could see like to the Rumble.
I could see it falling apart at the Rumble.
Or like the crack actually fully showing.
This is what I look at, right? Like if we look at what Owens did last year, right, and we look at what Sammy did last year, they had two of the most memorable matches on the night for two completely different reasons. so in this world where they've been soft playing Owens and Sammy and all that, even this week, with him showing up on SmackDown for whatever random reason, it's one of those where it's just like, it's gotta be, it has to lead to that. And I think that you could get away, there's still no other tag teams around that are really popping anything crazy right now, but you could easily do Sammy and Owens against the Usos at Mania, and it would be phenomenal. It would absolutely be phenomenal. So that's where I'm at.
I honestly thought that the Street Profits were going to make a solid run, but with Montez being hurt for a couple weeks, I guarantee that pushes a lot. Because, honestly, out of the people who are putting in the most work, meaning physically,
right,
I feel like D'Angelo Dawkins is, or D'Angelo, right? It's
D'Angelo.
Right? Yeah. I think that he's honestly changing just about as much as Montez is, because he's lost a significant amount of weight. Looks like he packed on a whole bunch of muscle. And same thing with Montez. Montez went from skinny dude who just jumped really high to now my man is bulk. He
still jumps really high.
Yeah, but he still jumps really high.
He's hitting the chicken and rice 3 times a day. There ain't no way that he's not doing 2-a-days at the gym. He just put on so much muscle. But I agree with Brian. I think that's a very good storyline. And now we have Dan.
I don't know. It's hard.
Did I take yours?
No. Okay, it's just
Did Brian take yours?
No, honestly, the funny thing was we agreed to make this dislike the one that you dislike the most. So you changed it, which is fine. That's cool. I'm just gonna throw the down on part of this, and I'm gonna do a dislike. I absolutely hate, and I hate everything with Nikki Ash, all of it.
Agreed. It's all terrible.
It's so bad.
Just let her become Nikki Cross again.
It's not even that. It's just it's been months of just bad, honestly. And I think even them really trying to make you pay attention to promos in the back and having her throw her mask for weeks, yada yada yada. I never cared about Nikki Ash. I thought her winning Money in the Bank and cashing in was terrible from the very beginning. The whole run has not been good. She's not the Hurricane. It's just let it die. Just please let it die.
This year she only has a 75% lose rate.
Jesus, that's terrible.
I actually just watched a video on all the wrestlers that have the worst lose rates.
Nice.
Anyone want to guess who has the worst? He's a former WWE champion.
Worst loss rate?
I don't know.
Former WWE champion.
Jinder Mahal.
I don't even
97% loss rate.
So I really wanted to guess him, but then I'm just man, I haven't seen that guy in 3 months.
Well, the only thing that's memorable about Jinder as of recently is the fact that Shanky was doing dances here and there.
And
that's it.
They just haven't been on television.
Yeah, Veer's a complete wash. It's so annoying watching him and Omos. If they keep on I think the worst storyline, because in the show notes we've written down, it's the favorite. The next one might be what you're thinking of, our next question. But what the worst in my opinion is Omos right now. They're just putting these dummies that are just I want to become a wrestler. And then, you know what I mean? They're just oh, yeah, cool, we'll get you your outfit here.
They're indie darlings. Hello?
I don't give a shit what they are.
No, they're not. They're randoms that they picked up off the street.
Yeah,
hey, no. They're local indie guys, all right?
I'm pretty sure they go to each place, and they're just who wants to get smashed by this 7-foot-tall giant? He's going to throw you around the ring for about 25 seconds.
At least they have names.
And then he's eventually going to step on your chest.
At least they have names now.
Sure, but
they still don't have entrances.
I watched this poor guy in Philly back when we went to the Philly show with Omos there. Oh my God, this poor dude must have been 120 pounds soaking wet, rocks in his pocket, a backpack full of water. There's just
he made more money in that night than he probably has in his entire lifetime.
If you're telling me that that's all I gotta do, and he's gonna
you gotta know how to wrestle. You can't just
What do you mean? I could sell it if some dude's throwing me across the ring. Some 7-foot dude is just gonna launch at me. You know how much I could sell it? I'd be I'd be fine. Trust me.
You gotta know how to land it right.
Oh, I'm gonna land it all right. Trust me. I'm gonna
boy.
I'm like, tell me how much the check was again.
Oh boy.
Good. We're good. Slam me.
Well, thank you very much, Caker. All right, go ahead. Continue.
We're gonna keep it rolling.
I have a feeling you're looking at the wrong show notes now, which I think is even funnier.
No, I think I'm not. I'm looking at right off the Google one.
That's don't do that. So the next one is game you're most looking forward for. I'm gonna just help you out.
Wait, hold on. Is that on our? So then the one that I originally put on Discord.
You know that thing that I told you to the thumbs up yesterday, and you told me you didn't read it and you just thumbs upped it.
I'm honest to a fault. All right,
that's the thing.
All right, so
I'm glad I thumbs up it and read it.
So anyway, that whole last part of the podcast wasn't supposed to be there, but it's cool, guys. It's fine.
It's fine. It felt fluid, and that's all that matters. They don't have to know.
We'll edit it. We'll edit it in post. We'll edit it in post.
and just for the record, it says, please hit this with a thumbs, so I know that you have read and acknowledged this. The tribal chief, Sami Zayn. Okay, first off, Sami Zayn is spelled wrong.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even spelled correctly.
It's fine.
And then I immediately thumbs up it probably like about 2 minutes later, and I said didn't read ... just thumbs up. Yeah. And then he proceeded to respond with a gift, and then back and forth war for a couple minutes. But either way, whatever.
For those watching on YouTube, can you give us a like and subscribe?
boys, we're gonna keep on rolling. Okay. All right. So then, I have right now. What is the next game that you are most excited for? And then we went Brian first last time, so Dan, you got the.
We went last time.
Me. It was me, Brian, then you. Mm-hmm. So now it's gonna be Dan, Brian, me.
Okay. So here's a really weird thing, right? I couldn't even name like several games coming out the rest of the year. I've just not really been following the gaming world. The Dragonflight announcement just happened. Kind of getting excited about it. I'm more excited about it like today than I was like when they announced it. But I think I'm gonna throw this one to Marvel Snap. It's a game that when they first launched it, I was very excited about it. It's up my alley for games that I would at least give and try out. It's coming out, what's the day? The day is the 4th. It'll be globally launched on the 15th. There was a video today that I actually didn't watch yet, so I'm not exactly sure if the PC is going to go live today on launch, but it will be on live on mobile and things like that. I'm hoping the PC launch is like right around the corner because I definitely want to play it on PC, but the fact that I'll be able to download it on my phone for the first time in like 6 months after kind of sort of illegally playing it in May. Let's not tell anybody about that. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. It's a pretty sweet game. If you don't know anything about it, just go to YouTube, check in Marvel Snap. They have a very, very small library of videos about the game so far. It's pretty cool. It's very interesting. It's a deck builder. You have like 12 cards in your deck. It's all based on Marvel characters, so it checks a lot of the boxes for IPs that I give a shit about, and the game itself is pretty interestingly competitive. So I'm excited to like finally get it in my phone to where I can like care more about it, and not to mention have like an account that's like I actually want to put forth for, instead of going, I don't know if this account's going to exist in 4 months. So yeah, Marvel Snap is my the game I'm most looking forward to.
So to go over that, the 18th of October is when the worldwide release is for iOS, Android, and PC open beta.
Yeah, so I don't know I know it's on Steam already. You can put it in your wish list. So hopefully that means it'll just flat out be open. That's why I really hope that's true.
All right, Brian.
The game that I'm looking forward to has been a game that's been in early access for almost a year now, and that's Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Which is
didn't Ziggy shit on that game like a week ago?
Did he?
I think
what?
You did. I think you did. Actually, I think you actually did.
I don't remember.
Oh no, that's what it was. You were looking for a new game to play on stream.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And you're like,
Baldur's Gate.
Fucking Baldur's Gate. Who the fuck would play this? Brian's excited.
Brian, you suck. Anyway, good.
It's literally D&D
That's great.
as a video game.
That's
Like
I looked at it and I was just like, I watched it.
you
I was much more interested in the adult themed games on Steam rather than that game.
that's understandable, but the fact that like you can make a party however you want in that game, and you can also play cooperatively with your friends online to basically make a D&D group like you normally would. It just like the game rolls dice for you. You can use all your abilities to help your dice rolls, and it's kind of like an RTS, which is basically what D&D is. So
Can you play like with groups? Because that would be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be interesting at least. I mean, it's
yeah,
something new.
right now you can only get to level 4 though, so it's not really like
Oh, yeah.
level 4, and like they're still putting more races and more of the classes in. Like Paladin's not even in the game yet.
Okay.
But I already bought it, but I'm just waiting for it to actually come out so I can officially play it.
Brian, it might ironically be a game that you could actually get Papa Bear out of retirement.
He already said he's playing it when it comes out.
Oh shit!
So thus
get
it's a
the crew back
4-player
together?
game. So thus you two better fucking buy it.
Oh boy!
Oh god, it'll be exactly like our League of Legends thing, where we always feel like we're one short.
No, it's a
in
4.
this situation. No, it's 4. It's 4. I understand
Yeah,
exactly
no.
what you said.
Yeah, no.
I mean that I'm not gonna read stuff. Come on, Brian. You know what my class is. Give me 5 shields and I'll roll and slam my body into things. That's what I want to do.
I'm aware.
What game are you looking forward to, Zig?
So, I want to say my auto one is Diablo because I'm really interested in that. It took my Diablo 4. It took my interest immediately, like upon playing it when we all played together. Like I enjoyed it a lot. The more immediate one that I am looking forward to, which is an October release, early October, is Torchlight Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm actually going to give it a try. It's kind of basically like Diablo.
It's another
but,
ARPG.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm a little bit more cartoony, so it's like kind of like the difference between World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy.
I'm gonna take the thumbs up because I'm the one that told him about this game.
Yeah, he could have that one in my search through Steam as I'm looking for something, whatever. There's older games that I still play like all the time. Like I play PUBG with Drew all the time. It's a blast. I play with all his buddies, kind of fit like right into where he plays. Play League of Legends with them, and it's just like I think that as I get older, I'm starting to get less competitive with these games, and I'm starting to enjoy them actually more, which is kind of good for me because this way it doesn't keep me with like my short-sightedness where I'm just like, all right, I'm bored, I want to get a new game. You know what I mean?
And your rage that constantly pops up.
No.
I still have
that. Still exists.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'll give you a short little excerpt that happened the other day. I'm talking to Dan Smurf Gempty, and I'm playing with Drew though because we only have a few minutes because we're working. And during a break when we decided to play one game of PUBG, we dropped a spot and we're driving around playing Loot Simulator for approximately 12 minutes. The first building we get to, the first firefight, dude obliterates my helmet, takes it right off. So obviously I'm down. I'm crawling around. I'm trying to look for people to make sure I can give good call outs to my teammates, whatever. Drew tells this guy in the other Discord channel, kill the guy that's on the ground. This dude shoots me. Immediately rips me apart, kills me, like lays into me. And I have like a level 3 vest on. So just for people out there, it's a little bit harder to kill me. It's not like I absorb a few more bullets than normal. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I immediately leave the Discord channel that I'm in and immediately hop into his channel. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, we just fucking did it for 20 minutes. And I lose my shit on this guy. And he's laughing the whole time. I was kind of laughing too, to be honest with you. I was doing it more as a joke. I wasn't really trying to be serious. But for me, it was hilarity because I know 2 years ago when I was playing that game like so much that if that would have happened, I legitimately would have raged. Like, I would have been like, Crawford, you're a fuckhead. Give me your address. I'm going to drive to your house right now and punt you in the nuts. Like, that's how mad I would have got. Like, I would have drove 12 hours to Tennessee to kick this kid in the nuts.
I'm going to be
Like,
honest, he was still really pissed.
yeah, I was pissed, but I was fine. You know, me and Drew played a couple more games during our lunch break. And, you know, it was just one of those things where it just so happened to be that way. Like, I get less mad at the things now, or I'm able to brush them off at a quicker pace than I was before, which I guess is a good thing. I mean, it's like you growing up.
I'm not sure if this is PUBG lingo. Did he laser goo or something? He melted you like that.
Yeah, he completely melted me. That's what I said.
Okay.
Well, so there's a couple terms in PUBG. The term one is a flush. It's called. And that means that the guy completely ignores your team, and it is like the ultimate disrespect. It's like someone spitting in your face, legitimately. So basically, you're not really supposed to flush people. You're supposed to kill the team, and then that's supposed to be how you get the kill. Because effectively, if all 4 members on your team are dead, you lose the game.
Yeah. Okay.
And now what that means is if someone flushes you, that means that they've killed you. They've ignored the other 3 people that are probably swarming the building at this point to try to save you. And they're going to get killed. And they're just doing it to BM you. Like, to do bad manners and get you out of the game.
Interesting.
It's just one of those things where it's a real dick move. That's really what it is. It's because you're not confident in your gun skill that you could take out the extra people on the team, and you're more worried about your kill death ratio.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it's like it's hit or miss. So again, some people don't.
I downloaded the game. I played the one against AI, and I won. That's my only experience in the game.
Well, I mean, you probably want to play arcade to start to get like the lean downs right, and I'll play a few rounds. Arcade's just fun. It's fun though.
It's a slightly wonky with like aiming around things. At least that's how I felt about it.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm actually like in cover and I'm like leaning, like I'll find myself tilting my head.
I believe you. Yeah, I believe
to make sure I'm like gonna hit this guy. I'm like, oh, and then if I shoot real quick, I'll like snap my neck up like this so I don't get shot dead.
Yeah. It's Mario Kart all over again. It's fine. Just turn the controller. It totally works.
This one in.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right, we're gonna. All right, so that was the game we're most excited for. Our random question of the week is: pick for the Royal Rumble winners now.
Brian started.
Well, for the men's, I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes.
Fair.
Which is probably what most people would say if they just think about it now.
Doesn't even know he'll be back yet. He's committed.
Yep. And for the women's, that's the one I'm really not that sure about. Because a lot of stuff can change between now and the Rumble.
Gun to your head,
It's,
Brian.
it's probably Charlotte Flair. Because she's been gone for a while, and that'd be a time for her to come back.
I think it's a good return spot. I don't think it's a good win spot. I don't
think Charlotte needs to win it, but you know.
Well, no, it's not even that. I just think because it's still so young that I'm not sure we need a repeat winner just yet. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's where I'm at. Zig.
All right, men's. I personally think this person deserves gold because at this point I've been watching him now, and I think that he's great on the mic. I think that he's great everywhere. Runs great promos, and I'm kind of sick and tired of him kind of like fluffing other people to make them, you know what I mean, like to have big wins on the resume. And I want to say Seth Rollins wins WrestleMania. For the women's, unpopular opinion, Rhea Ripley. And that's because I think she deserves gold. She's great, again, great on the mic, and I think that's what you need to be as a champion. Like, I think that Bobby Lashley's cool and everything, but he needs to lose that belt. I mean, it needs to go to somebody who it's just like I don't know. He kind of feels like one of the giants. You know what I mean? Like he's fighting these people. Like he fought Mustafa Ali. He made my man do a pretzel, and it's just like, all right, cool. Mustafa Ali's gonna be like this I don't quit thing type guy now, and I'm just like, yay, cool, another like play on things. It's just not my thing.
I think
I like
it was bad.
yeah.
I thought that whole segment was terrible.
I
Yeah.
honestly think that the amount of small dudes that they have, they should really bring the cruiserweight title back, just because like either that or make it have an intercontinental for Raw and SmackDown.
No, the problem is there's not a second world title. That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
Like the problem is that Bobby Lashley is a United States champion because there's no world, like he's not in a world title picture, and there isn't any belief of mine that he will be there anywhere in the next 6 to 12 months, right? Like, and even like honestly, even if we go back to 6 months ago before the unification and everything, like, yeah, he was playing with the championship for a year because there was a second title. So like, and before that, ironically, he was United States champion. So the real truth is, like, I don't think they need a cruiserweight title. They need a title that's better than the United States and the Intercontinental. I honestly thought they made the wrong call. I think the North American title should have stayed on SmackDown, honestly, or whatever you wanted to do with it, because the North American title is kind of like a second world title. It's not really viewed as an Intercontinental title in NXT. It's viewed as like a 1A 1B type thing, and that's what we had for so long. And if they're not going to get a title off Reigns, like, that's the real problem. I don't want a fucking cruiserweight title. I don't give a fuck about the cruiserweights. I don't like the whole 205 Live thing was a failure other than Enzo. It literally sucked.
I don't. Okay, well, here's my thing: is it like in a world where this shares a similarness to reality? Like a Mustafa Ali is not going to beat up a Bobby Lashley in real life.
Well, that's why it's fake.
Like you're
Just
I
kidding.
no, I mean I understand that, but the fact of the
mean-
matter is that I don't think you can continue to put these small dudes in there and expect the outcome to be, oh, you're going to beat a Bobby Lashley.
I mean, if gun to my head, Bobby Lashley loses next Monday night and wrestles Brock Lesnar at the Crown Jewel. That's my opinion. Like my opinion is this is the last week he'll have that title, and that'll be the end of it.
You think he's going to lose it in
I mean,
a week's time?
I think they made a lot of mistakes this Raw, actually, because I can't believe they announced Seth Rollins versus Lashley, even though Seth Rollins is gonna be in a fight pit, which means the loser should not show up to Raw and wrestle. Like, that should not be a thing. So you basically already told me that Rollins is going to win the fight pit, and if he wins the fight pit, he's probably gonna win the United States Championship also. And I think you do that because Brock Lesnar is being advertised for Crown Jewel. Who does Brock Lesnar going to fight at Crown Jewel? Seriously. Who? Bobby Lashley makes a lot of sense because there's
White
something
Rabbit.
to do. It's definitely not the White Rabbit. So yeah, I just think I think Bobby Lashley is the last week with that title. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I just think that there should be similarly matched people that can do it. I mean, like, I don't even care. Make my new damn title. It doesn't matter to me. Just like, there's no world where like a Mustafa Ali beats this Bobby Lashley. Like, no matter how much you want to push somebody. Like, same thing. Like Gargano versus Otis. I'm like, come on now.
That was but at least that was good for what it's worth.
It was a good match. But
way
honestly,
better,
I think
way
I
better
think
than
that-
Lashley match.
I
Way
think
better.
that Otis, like, sells it. I honestly don't think that he's as bad as everybody
No.
kind of puts him out
No,
there.
Otis
I think
is
he's
good.
Otis has
Yeah.
never been bad ever.
Well, I don't know. I like to. There's a lot of things that I like about like that whole team. Like Chad Gable's another one he's a tiny dude. Like him versus Braun Strowman. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Dude,
I'm like,
he fucking Germaned him. Like,
he Germaned him a couple times.
dude,
which
I'm
was
just saying,
impressive.
like, it was incredible. I was blown away. I was like, wow.
But in my opinion, I don't think those guys should be fighting. It's like it's like back in the day when you seen like Rey Mysterio versus like the Undertaker or Kane, and you're just like, what is this guy gonna do? He's like, he's got to hope to run around in circles
Rey
and
Mysterio
like,
is a 2-time champion, dude.
look,
He's
I
known
don't,
for beating giants, man.
I don't
He's
care.
a
I don't care
two-time
what you
champ.
guys say.
I'm just saying.
It ain't gonna change my
It's
mind.
wrestling.
Like,
It's
bottom
wrestling.
line, I just want to see people fight evenly matched things, and that I feel like they're gonna have the ability to win. I feel like I want to know that we're not gonna have a, you know what I
Man.
mean, like a decided victory
Go
upon me, like knowing the two people that are gonna wrestle.
go back a few years and watch Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Go watch
I
Brock
don't, I don't,
Lesnar
e- I
versus
don't even
Finn
want to.
Balor. Like
Yeah,
those matches are
were great.
they're some of the best Brock Lesnar matches. It's not even a joke. Dead ass. Go watch them. You'll be like, man, I can't believe we would ever advertise this. And then you'll be like, wow, fuck, this match was great. Like you can do it if it's done right. The problem is Bobby Lashley is not the person to do it with. Bobby Lesnar is a one-trick pony. Period.
Yeah.
And he's not a
When he-
face. He's
No.
a terrible face.
When he lost MVP, or when MVP broke off from their little thing, I had like little to no faith that he was going to
I
do
mean, I had
good.
little to no faith in all of it because I have no faith in Omos either. Wait, that's a whole other fucking problem. But whatever. Back to my Royal Rumble picks.
Good. Your Royal Rumble picks, go.
I'm gonna double down on it with you. Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
I think Rhea Ripley absolutely should win. I said it last week. She won a number one contendership and was supposed to fight for the title and still hasn't. Literally hasn't even been spoken about, which is really upsetting. But yeah, I think Rhea's perfect. The one thing I will say is I don't know where the titles will be, but I'm very interested in a Rhea Ripley versus Bayley, if that's a direction they want to take. But I'm also, Rhea and Bianca really haven't had that moment either. I'm not a huge Bianca fan, as I've stated, but I do think Rhea and Bianca could probably have a pretty phenomenal match at WrestleMania, under the assumption that it's Ronda and Becky for the other title. I just don't think Becky doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble. Like, Becky can come back and do Becky things, and it'll be fine. But I think if you really want to create another main event star like you did with Becky and like you did with Bianca, Rhea should win. I think she's put a hell of a lot of work in. She's probably one of the best right now on the mic in the women's division. Like, I don't even know who really touches her at this moment. I think she's the best, literally right now. Like just
women's...
currently week to week over the last 6 weeks, I think she's been the best one.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I'll agree with you on that because it's kind of sort of why I made my pick. But honestly, Bailey's great on the mic. Bailey's so good.
She is,
and
but
Dakota Kai is like, you could tell she's starting to learn from her. Io Sky's just a lost cause. I don't even understand why they even put her on the mic just to say like stuff that we barely can understand.
It's the same reason
It's
they
the
do it
same
to
thing with
Asuka.
Asuka. I know.
You got to do
I'm
it.
just like,
You
I
can't-
get it, but I don't get it.
You
Like,
can't
I
have a
get it, but I
character.
really-
You can't have a character just not talk. You just can't.
I mean,
You can give her a
can.
mouthpiece, which is what they basically did. I do agree, though. I think it's very unfortunate, but it's a kind of a culture thing. Also, it's like we're probably being assholes. Like if we're being honest.
No, I don't come from a place of hate. I
No,
just
it's
come from
not.
a place of like, I just don't understand it. It's like,
I
why
don't-
put her on like I get it. Like, I understand. If anything, I feel like I understand kind of sort of the most because I watch anime. Like, I get it. Like, and I know they're talking what is a semblance of the Japanese that I watch and listen, but I just like I think I don't get it because like I don't think it adds any value to what is going on, and that's what my gripe is about it. Like, I think that when they come and do their little one, like when Asuka hits her tagline, yes, I can understand that, but I'm talking about all the other stuff that doesn't involve the tagline.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the random Japanese that you're saying.
Yeah, no, I think it almost takes away from a lot of what they're doing.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
the worst part.
I feel like it makes them a laughing stock versus what what I mean. Like,
I don't think
not
it's
laughing stock, but
no.
you know what I mean. Like, I think that people look at it in a negative light versus
I think
it's supposed to be positive.
It's kind of a distraction because you're like, I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be invested in this promo going on and then go, what did she say?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Now here's the weirdest thing: if you watch New Japan, the only people that do promos are the English guys.
Yeah,
None of the Japanese guys do promos.
And I get it, I do, but it's just I think
that's a culture thing.
For what it's worth, it's also a reason why I don't enjoy New Japan. Like, because I'm a promo guy. I'm the kind of guy that, like, honestly, this is dead it. Until recently, I would if I missed a Raw, I didn't watch it live, I would only listen to the promos. I wouldn't even watch the matches because, like, I didn't give a shit. Like, I didn't care. That's a whole new story now because I mean, even if we go back to last week, like, there was like 3 absolute bangers on Monday Night Raw. Like, it was just like, man, like, Seth Rollins versus Lashley was just good. It was just great. Anything Owens does is great. Like, it's yeah, I don't know, lots of stuff. But the men's one, which I don't, the problem is I don't think any of us pointed this out yet. It's impossible to book the men's Royal Rumble, in my opinion, because I still have to believe that Roman's not going to have 2 titles. Because if he doesn't have 2 titles, then the only winner is The Rock. And Vince McMahon's not doing the booking anymore. So I don't want to believe that either, right? Because if Vince McMahon was still in charge, Rock's music would hit number 30, he'd come out, eliminate 14 people somehow, and he would win. And that would be the Vince thing to do. We don't live in the Vince thing to do. And I still think we're going to get The Rock versus Roman. So now I have to start to believe, like, man, is Roman going to drop both belts before then? I don't really want to believe that either. So you have to get to this portion where, this is my super off pitch, right? I have 2 pitches. My one pitch is Roman does separate the titles, whether he has to relinquish one, whatever it is. And I know I already booked him into another thing, but I would love to see Kevin Owens win a Royal Rumble. That would be like my favorite for sure. But in none of these situations where they don't separate the titles and none of that crap, I'm gonna pick Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble. He's gonna do what Brock Lesnar couldn't, and he's gonna go into the Rumble and he's gonna fucking win it, and he's gonna come out and be like, I'm main eventing against myself. And then the fucking Rock's music is going to hit. And that's exactly how that's going to happen. Because that's the only way I see it. There's no way anyone else is going to win the Rumble. Unless they do, like, some hodgepodge thing where, like, they win the Rumble and then they wrestle it, like, whatever pay-per-views before WrestleMania. Like, that's the problem with me with the Men's Rumble. It's like, I just don't know how to predict it because something has to happen. Something has to give. If Roman drops the titles, then that's fine. You open it up to that Cody thing, right? Like, you open it up to, honestly, 4 or 5 other options, to be honest, at that point. But if he's not going to drop the titles, and the plan is like 99% Rock, then it's either Rock or Roman. And Triple H isn't Vince McMahon. I don't think he's not gonna book The Rock to win the Rumble. I think booking Roman to win the Rumble and really coming out on Monday Night Raw and fucking staking the full claim of everything. And then that Rock music hit. Oh boy.
So I have a counter argument for you, Dan. We know WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights.
Sure.
So the winner of the Rumble could wrestle him the second night, and he fights The Rock the first night.
No chance that happens. There's no chance your first night is going to be Rock Ramp. There's no way. There's no way.
We had Austin the first night against Owens.
Right, and who was the main event?
Yes.
No, the main event was Roman Reigns on Sunday night. No chance.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You're not gonna have Rock and Roman on Saturday. It's not happening. No chance.
All right.
You have Rock and Roman Saturday, and you have Roman versus Cody on Sunday.
Cody's not winning the title at Mania. Sorry, he's not doing it. I'm telling you right now. You want to make more bets about me going outside and digging a hole? Cody Rhodes.
That was Ziggy's thing, not me.
No, I didn't want you to dig a hole. I was going to have something much more embarrassing. Either way, reel it in. Okay, boys, reel it in.
All right, before we really call this show, Ziggy, you're going to Extreme Rules on Sunday. What match are you most looking forward to? To be there live in the atmosphere.
Really? I am. If I had gun to my head, you have me pick something now. I probably want to see Finn versus Edge, but I mean, I'm not really interested in any of them because, I know that it's not going to be a cage match. That it's WWE's cage version.
No, dude,
you know,
it's an MMA fight, dude. Seriously, go watch Matt Riddle and I can't remember the other dude's name. Go watch that match. Just Google Matt Riddle and Fight Pit, and I'm telling you, it's brutal.
All right, I mean, like if it's brutal, then it's obviously them too. I like
I mean,
Rollins enough.
I
like
was looking
Riddle.
forward to Cross and McIntyre.
Yeah, I'm not. Strap matches are so beat. They're just stupid. I mean, like, yeah, I get it. You can't run away from your opponent. Okay. Karrion Cross has a move where it's a finisher.
So this is where Ziggy's lack of knowledge is going to come into play here. Hey, Zig, what was the last strap match of this year?
Last strap match of this year?
Yeah, because there was a strap match this year in another company.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Exactly.
Was it probably Dean Ambrose well, not Dean Ambrose because it's John Moxley.
No. No, the last strap match this year was CM Punk versus MJF, and in that
It
story,
was a banger.
That was the hold on. That was it was the culmination of their story of the year, which is up for debate to being the best story in wrestling this year. So to even go with the strap match, honestly, is just a shots fired moment for me for WWE. So I kind of love that they're doing it. I don't know. I'm excited that Cross matters, but I'm not sold on anything that he's done so far. So like I think my problem is like he has to win. Like he has to win. So it's like if I don't know what I think they just wrote themselves into a hole, honestly. I think that's what they did, and that's my problem with it. If I'm still hoping that I will be there, just a little above you on Sunday night, but the Fight Pit would be mine just because like I've seen the Elimination Chamber live, I've seen the Royal Rumble live, I've been to WrestleMania. I've never seen a Fight Pit though. I think that'd be cool just to be there, just to see it, be a part of it. I think it's pretty sweet, so I think it's memorable. But my pick of the night is going to be the ladder match because I'm a total mark for ladder matches. It's the first. I literally, when they announced it, I was a total mark, and I'm like, I don't think they've ever done this before. Dead ass. That was my first impression, and then I went down my Google train and I went and searched everything, and I was really proud of myself to know, as a ladder match fan, that there has never been a singles ladder match between two women. I knew it. I literally knew the information. I was very proud of myself. But yeah, I think I'm just a mark for ladder matches.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm excited to go because Addie's excited to go. Like, that's what I want. I'm more worried about the joy to see on her face than me enjoying it. I've been to these things. I've been to events. I've been to the pay-per-views, effectively. I've been to WrestleMania. I was in WrestleMania here. My back was in the wall, or my back was on the wall at the Core State Spectrum when WrestleMania was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a Core State Spectrum show. By that, of how old it was. And I was there when the big boss man got hung, and it was great. It was fantastic. It's good. I mean, like, I enjoy the fact that she is so invested into it that she's like, she gets giddy and like she gets excited when these things happen. So when we're able to get tickets and we can make it work, I'll gladly go. Like, WrestleMania is my big thing that I'm like hugely looking forward to when it comes to Philly for those 2 nights. I'm gonna try to go at least one. It'll be the first time that I'm at the link, so you know
I think there's no doubt that you'll end up at both nights. I think the deals
it's pricey.
The deals I think they'll be in place. I think it'll be more affordable than you probably think it will be, especially for the overall experience of it. I don't know. I mean, I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't go and look at. I mean, you could probably just literally look at this year's tickets and figure it out. It's going to be something similar, obviously.
I know for the VIP package, it's $600 or $6,750.
Yeah, but that's like we're not.
I was just like, oh my god,
we're not living that life.
What does that get me? I was like, do I go out to dinner with any superstar of my choice?
I think you get the fan fest, you get X amount of signatures, and
honestly, like that's what we didn't get to experience, which I don't even know that I'll be able to experience at this time. Like I might have to like really finagle a way to doing it because I will absolutely be working leading up to the show, but I 100% plan on going to the show unless I have the luxury at that point to work the show, which would be probably still not something I want to do. But the access stuff, like, it was all in New York last time, so we didn't really have any ability to do any of that stuff. So I'm definitely interested, like, to just kind of embrace the WrestleMania for what it is. Like, I've never, like, yeah, we went to Mania, but it's, that's not the same, I think, as what this whole package has to offer you now. Like, even the NXT thing, like, there'll be an NXT event that weekend. I kind of want to go to that too if it's possible. Like,
there'll be the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like, I don't know about all of it. I guess it depends who's going in. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna be able to literally do all of it, but I definitely want to do more than just the normal. So I don't know. I'll be excited about it, but who knows?
I mean, all I know is we need like 12 tickets.
My I think now my goals align less in what I want to do and more what I would like to see.
Sure.
I know that you as a dad, you understand that, but I mean, I've experienced it. I feel like I'd be robbing somebody. Like, I know my dad and my mom, when they took me to these things, they weren't going there because they love wrestling. They were going there because I loved wrestling.
Sure.
And my immediate goal as of right now, as a dad, just a dude, is to meet Alexa Bliss for Addison and for her to enjoy it.
Right, but like, you'll have the opportunity to do that at Mania.
Yeah, for $6,750.
No, like, there'll be access tickets.
I know. I will be looking into all the avenues. I just want her to get one picture with her because I know that'll mean the world to her.
Well,
and
here's the thing,
it's one of those things that'll stick with you for a lifetime.
Well, here's the thing too. The good news is that you have, like, the next year to really plan for that. Like, like, we know this far in advance, like, okay, it's gonna be, so which means tickets are gonna go on sale like next September. So you're like, all right, I basically have a year to, like, go, all right, I'm just gonna put away $1,500 and hopefully that buys me what I need to buy or something like that,
Yeah, I mean, or go, I do
the
have
point
two
is
healthy, two healthy functioning kidneys,
right. The point,
one of which I can get rid of.
The point is that right? It's not like it's gonna pop up out of nowhere and you're not gonna be fucking clue. Like, you can plan for it.
Yeah,
which is big. I think that's the big thing. Like, even for us last time when they announced the MetLife thing, and even when Brian found everything, it was still pretty fast. Like, it was like, oh, like, we have 3 weeks to figure it out. It's not that way anymore. Like, we literally know so far in advance that you can, if you want to go, you're gonna go.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna. I think it'll be like a good week. I mean, even at that point, AJ will be a little bit older, and I think that he'll be able to enjoy it on a level where he could see it. So again, it's one of those things. We're gonna reel it up with we're gonna reel it in with the finals, and it's gonna be I am Ziggy, Dan, and that's Brian. Maybe some different ways, because whatever way we're doing it. Either way,
it actually worked there.
It worked. It worked there.
Fantastic! I meant to do that. 1,000%. 1,000% read what Dan put, showing me who was what and where.
I will interrupt him for a
way.
moment. Please take a moment, like, comment, subscribe.
Dude, you just ruined it for me. I was literally getting through it. You guys kept on. Listen. Just let me get through it, okay?
All right, go ahead.
I am Ziggy. That's Dan. That's Brian. We are the Up or Down podcast. And we encourage you to like, subscribe, thumbs up, do whatever you got to do to show us some love if you enjoyed the episode. Even if you didn't, tell us what we did wrong. We'll try to figure it out, and we'll be better for next time.
And we're officially on all podcast streaming platforms.
There you go.
Literally, you can ask your Alexa to play the podcast. I almost did it. It didn't work, thank God. But yeah. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks again, guys, and have a good night.